According to Ukrainian forces, they've shot down a number of Russian cruise missiles. Fierce fighting has been taking place on the front lines in the east. In the Donetsk region, 12 people have been injured when an apartment building was damaged by Russian shelling. Russia earlier said its troops broke through two fortified lines in Ukrainian defenses on the eastern front in Luhansk. Arise chief correspondent John Cookson has been monitoring developments, and he joins us now from London for more. John, it's great to have you on Newsday. Thank you for your time. Why is Turkey so opposed to Sweden and Finland membership of NATO?
Hi, ladies. Great to be on Newsday, as always. Well, there are two reasons, really. Turkey, of course, sits at the crossroads between Europe and Asia. Politically, Turkey can lean east or west and is regularly changing sides, as it were. Turkey has a good relationship with Russia, and Russia, of course, doesn't want to see an expansion of NATO. So for that reason, there's one reason there why Turkey is holding out at the moment. Secondly, the Turks are fighting a separatist war with the Kurdish militias. It's been going on for 40 years. It's cost 40,000 lives already. And a number of Kurdish so-called freedom fighters have taken refuge in countries like Sweden and Finland. Now, Turkey calls these people terrorists, and that's the second reason why Turkey is opposing the membership of Sweden and Finland, because it gives home to terrorists in Turkey's eyes. Stoltenberg doing his best today. It's going to be an uphill task with Turkey. I'm just wondering whether Turkey is trying to wring out some concessions from NATO in maybe in monetary terms, perhaps, for giving its consent to Sweden and Finland joining the NATO, but still, along with Hungary, they are still at this hour opposing Swedish and Finnish membership to NATO at the moment.
Right now, of course, we know still at the very top of NATO's agenda is the Ukraine war. And there's now been another wave of Russian rockets hitting Ukraine this morning. What more can you tell us?
Let's take a look at a map of Ukraine at the moment so we can see where the area of conflict is fighting at the moment. You can see the capital at the top there in Lviv, which was on the west side there, that was hit by a rocket this morning, an industrial complex. Fired, we think, from a ship in the Black Sea. But all that area edged in red and pink is either Russia-controlled or mainly Russian-controlled. And the blue areas there, where the intense fighting that you spoke about earlier is going on at the moment. Cities like Bakhmut, which has been fought over for months so far, and still there's no resolution as to who is in command there at the moment. The Ukrainians are still holed up, around 1,500 soldiers surrounded at the moment by Russian forces. And the Wagner group, which is doing much of the fighting, these are Russian mercenaries, are saying that the city might not fall until March or April, which will come as a surprise to some observers. As you said in the intro, a wave of cruise missiles overnight and this morning. The Ukrainians claim that they shot 8 down, and this follows a pattern, of course, which has been going on since last October, where Russia can fire drones, it seems, and cruise missiles almost at will, to cause not only panic on the ground in Ukraine, but also to take out key infrastructures like power plants.
Thank you, John, for the visual of the situation on ground. But President Zelensky will be meeting Israel's foreign minister later. What's that all about?
Yes, this is an important move. I think it's President Zelensky is Jewish, as we know, and this is the highest-ranking Israeli official, Mr. Eli Cohen, to visit Ukraine since the conflict began. He's done a tour of the devastated areas north of Kiev, looking at villages there that were overrun with Russian forces. But later today, he'll meet with Zelensky and also members of the Jewish community who are still left in Ukraine. Ostensibly, the visit is about reopening the Israeli embassy in Kiev, which has been closed since last year. But my sense of it is that because of Israel's relationship, both good with Russia and with America, that there may be some messages that the Israeli foreign minister wants to get to the regime in Kiev about the thinking in Moscow or Washington. It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't have some kind of proposals with him talking about the possibility of what the terms of a ceasefire may be. We just don't know, but certainly it's an important visit.
Absolutely. And do we have any updates on the discussions from the NATO meetings in Brussels? What were the final outcomes of that?
Yeah, there's been no formal statement as yet, but we know that from yesterday there was a palpable sense of urgency amongst defense ministers that they need to get a move on to get vitally needed military equipment to Ukraine so Ukraine can react to the latest Russian offensive. We've heard details of 8 countries sending tanks, but then that poses a huge logistic a nightmare for the countries sending military equipment. They'll be sent first of all to bases in Slovenia, Romania, and Poland, and then somehow they've got to get them into Ukraine. They can't be flown in because there's a possibility the Russians might use their rockets to shoot down any aircraft. So they have to be taken in either by road or by train. And getting 80 to 100 tanks onto railway wagons and into the country, it is a massive task. Talk about tanks, but there's also rockets, shells, ammunition that Ukraine vitally needs.
Arise Chief Correspondent John Cookson, thank you so much for that thorough analysis. We appreciate your time here on Newsday, as always. Thank you.